Hey there, I'm Jordan Andrews, and this is my final project portfolio. So let's get right into it. I know this is a lot of words, but so we're going to start with the project plan overview. So Ebenezer Christian Children's Home is a nonprofit organization. They're building children's homes for level 1 foster care children in Caldwell County. They currently have 9 operating homes. They have 8 on the campus, and then 1 off campus. And then they have a main office on their campus as well, a chapel, and they are currently building a home in Old Fort, North Carolina, and in Hudson, North Carolina. They have 3 thrift stores. They have an annex store that keeps all of their Lowe's items, and they are super cool. They've been in operation for almost 30 years, and currently in Caldwell County there's around 400 foster care children from ages 0 to 21. So it's really important that we build homes for these children. Ebenezer always wants people involved with this business and in bringing in income for the children. So one way to do this, to spread the word about Ebenezer, is to create a handout. So when creating a handout, it could be a success or it could be a failure. So we're going to kind of walk through this project and see how it's going to go. So now we're going to get into the organizational chart. So what we're going to see here is the board of directors. That's where it starts. They kind of help with decision making. And then we're going to see Jean. She is in the middle. She's the main function of all of it. She really has high power over decisions. She organizes a lot of things with the stores. It's her. Like, she's the lady. Now Sherry, her right hand, is kind of like her person. Like, they kind of bounce ideas off of each other. They co-parent this whole organization. So then we kind of go down the line. We have Melody. She's the Hudson attic supervisor. That is the attic I've been supervising. You have Jordan, which is me. And then you have other employees. And then you have kind of so on and so on through there. So the process flow diagram. We have different stages. They all connect in the end. But the idea is to create that successful handout. So first we're going to gather materials. And then we go through the processes of how gathering materials, the pricing, what to gather. And then process 3 is designing the handout. Now process 3 and each one kind of flow into each other as well, similar to how the stages do. You can't move on here without moving on, the one before. So next we're going to get into creating the handout. We're going to, after designing, send it to the main office, revise it, and then send it back. Then once it comes back approved, or whatever, however many times we have to go through stage 2. This is why it's an agile project, because it's constantly in that testing phase. So then we are going to put the handout to the public. So we're going to put it in stores, we're going to tell everyone about it, and we're going to put it in some local businesses. Process 3, successful handout. Okay, so let's get into the risks. So there are a few of these, quite a few. So the risks are extended time frame due to reapproval. Like I said, it's a constant state of testing. This isn't super high on the severity list, but it could have, putting it behind schedule. We are going to, before everything, ask the main office what they think they want in a handout. This is going to really help so that the project doesn't have to be reapproved so much. Next is the pricing. So being a nonprofit organization, this kind of puts that in the middle of severity because they don't have a lot of money. So it's kind of hard for them to just up and throw money at something they're not sure about. So, let me go back a second here. To avoid that pricing, we're kind of going to stock up on everything for 1 year ourselves. We're going to kind of go through the process of everything and see how it works, and then we're going to probably send everything to the main office and see if they will continue with this project. So stock up on materials. Okay. So the public not interacting with the handout is a pretty big risk, as you see. We really want this project to be a success. So we are going to add in a lot of colors, basically make it appealing to the eye at first so people want to look at it, and because it is very bright. And then we want to put nice fonts, and then we really want to potentially have a survey for customers, maybe to see what they think about a handout. So then the other issue could be the computer or software issues. This isn't super big because we could have more computers, we could have backup software, so that is how we would probably solve that problem, but it could lead to a time constraint. Now we get to the con board. Now this right here is pretty interesting in itself. So, okay. The backlog. So we're going to start there, kind of what people who are interested would say. TikTok reviewers, influencers, they're going to help get involved with charities and a great cause. And we're going to see foster parents want to be involved with children and be a foster parent. And then we're going to see thrift store seekers really get into it. And then owner of construction business could come in and help build homes for the children's home. Next, we're going to get into the design. Now, the con board basically is similar to the process, like the process of it with the stages, the stage 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to start with the design, kind of what we want in it, and like what we could add on it, words of encouragement. So to do is gather materials, create a handout, and then give it to the public. That's our to-do list. So what are we going to be doing? So now we go into these things, but in more detail. Like what materials? How are we going to create it? What are we going to do? We got to get revised and then give it to the public. So then testing, giving it to the public, hope it goes well, and then give them to local businesses, and then see how people who come in have heard about the store. So whenever we're done, everyone's going to be gaining access and awareness of the store. Okay, let's get back into it. So now let's go into the stakeholder management plan. Sorry for the fuzziness. So we have everybody here, as you can see. So how's this going to go? Jean, she's going to be communicating with everyone on this list via phone or email. And she's going to be communicating pretty frequently as well. She's got pretty high influence. Her interest is a little bit lower just because her influence is so high. So Sherry's kind of right there with her. So then Melody is going to be communicating with everyone via phone or email as well. Or in person, actually. They're going to be communicating in person. Around the same amount. And they have very high influence and interest. So Jordan is going to be really putting this together on her computer, different things. Jordan is being me. Also communicating very frequently. We're going to see the employees of Ebenezer Attic of Hudson and other Ebenezer stores and the home itself really kind of interacting, communicating, keeping up with everything, being able to help pass out stuff. And then we're going to see the public who are kind of a little bit low in interest, just like these employees and stuff, kind of learning. The public's going to be, communicating every day, finding the handouts, letting us know how they feel about it, shopping in the stores. So the board of directors here, they're going to be our main influence because they, in the end, help make decisions. They're going to be communicating with Jean and Sherry the whole time, not really any of the employees or anyone. And they're going to be pretty frequently communicating as well. Now we go into the management plan pretty much. So, money. Let's talk money. So this basically just lays out who's getting what tasks, what the tasks are, the labor, the materials, just the money part of it. So here in this second half, we're going to see it's going to cost around $232 a year or so to do this project. So we really want this project to be successful because that is a pretty high price, especially for a nonprofit. Ebenezer Attic of Hudson makes around probably $300 a day or so. So real quick, I just want to answer some questions. So how did I improve my project based on my feedback from last time? So I really added in a lot more information about Ebenezer, and I really wanted to talk more about how people were involved. So what went well in my project and what I'm most proud of is the fact that I can create a successful handout now, and the fact that this project went super smooth and I feel really confident in it. Some challenges I faced when completing this project. So some challenges were creating the money part of it, like you see here in this end. It was really hard to kind of gather pricing on all these materials going to different places. That was about the hardest part of it, I'm gonna be honest. I overcame them. I looked online for materials. I went to Canva. I went to Walmart and looking for materials, places that we would normally be shopping for things like these materials. So what did I learn throughout the project, both about yourself and the field of project management? So what I learned about myself is I'm really good at managing a project. Like, I feel very confident in it. I think I could really put one together, especially based on this process flow diagram. And I really feel like it's just something that I'm really good at. And about project management, I found out that there's a lot more that goes into a project, and I think it's really important to realize that how many parts truly go into it, and it's important to plan for things like that. But overall, I truly love this project, and I thank you for listening to my project portfolio.